Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is John J. Gaming on the mic, coming at you guys with another episode of the ACSA, where we got 4 bowl games for you guys, including this bowl game that we're about to go down right now, the Gaming Tailgate Bowl, taking place between the Kent Colonials from the Atlantic Shore Conference and the Oxford Chargers, representing 4 of the Stars and Stripes. Should be a good set of bowl games here today. So do me a favor and please smash that like button as well as hit subscribe if you do have to be brand new to the channel, as Oxford actually does open up with a nice little field goal lead, up 3-0 on their Power 5 opponent. Delaware Kent actually the favorites to win this one here. Despite the fact that they only finished 7-5, they have a similar record to these Oxford Chargers, but they do at least look like a better team on paper, though we'll see if that translates onto the football field as well, as we do have 3rd and short coming up. Milano actually going to take a nice little gap and gets across the 35-yard line as well on top of that. So the Colonials got themselves a little bit of a drive going, as Milano will drop back the pass once again. Going to throw his dart downfield and gets it to Brinson. What a dart by Milano, and as a result, that is going to be counted as a touchdown for the Colonials. And just in a blink of an eye, the Colonials taking a 7-3 lead as we now go into the second quarter of play. We'll see if these Chargers can respond, though, as Simpkins sends a shot downfield, finds Crispo, but it's broken up, however, which means it is marked as an incompletion. As now 3rd and 6, Simpkins has to make a play, has to dodge some pressure, by the way, makes another man miss, and then is finally going to slide down across midfield. What a way to sidestep the defender, though, making his man look extremely silly, as Simpkins will drop back again. 2nd and 7, has a man wide open on the left-hand side, finds Miller in the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers. And Oxford is going to go ahead and strike back, drawing even of the Colonials. But how long will that last, as there's a fumble in the play? The Colonials are actually going to be able to recover as well on top of that, which does mean that Kent going to try to go ahead and try to take the lead. Again, diving for the end zone. It's going to be stuffed at the 1-yard line. Monster, though, as a couple plays later, they will be, seems like, able to punch it in there. Rainey going to go ahead and dive in for the end zone for another touchdown. So Delaware at Kent taking advantage of the turnover forced by the Kent defense, and in turn retake the lead from these Oxford Chargers, now making it a 17-10 lead. As we only have a couple minutes left here in this first half already, we'll see if the Chargers can charge their way down the field and tie this ball game before we go into the locker room for halftime, as they're already across that 30-yard line. Chargers putting together a decent drive, as now 1st and 10, Simpkins has to dodge the pressure, does get some blocking upfield though and get a 7-yard gain, but Oxford only with a couple of timeouts. They do use one here, as they only now have 1 timeout left to work with, as that throw over the middle of the field, that should have been caught, but it's incomplete because the pass was dropped. And so that does mean they have to start over again at 3rd and 3, but at the very least they do end up picking up the first down, but at what cost? They don't have any more timeouts. As we're down to the last minute and a half here in this first half, Simpkins going ahead and try to run with it once again, but it's going to be short of the first down marker. And because they don't have any more timeouts, they have to rush to the line of scrimmage quickly, as we're now down to just 1 minute of play here in this first half. I don't know if they're going to even have enough time to score here, as we have 2nd and 6 coming up. Simpkins dropping back, trying to throw over the middle, but it's intercepted by Thomas. Read it to perfection. And that's how they actually end up going to the locker room. Delaware Kent goes into halftime with a 17-10 lead, as the Chargers, a couple of turnovers in that second quarter, the ultimate difference right now between these two squads, as we'll see if the Chargers can go ahead and try to keep things close here, as we'll see if they can get some points on the board this time around. They had a promising drive, but a fumble, actually an interception, actually ended the drive early for the Chargers, as we'll see if they have what it takes to keep it rolling here. 2nd and 1 coming up, as Quentin Simpkins takes it up to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 1, Making a man miss and going to go ahead and scramble out all by himself. And nearly get to the red zone as well. Good for a first down on the play. As now, 1st and 10. Simpkins going to drop back. And it's actually going to be a quarterback design run. That's almost for a first down as well once again. Probably could have gone it if he chose to, but that just simply didn't happen for us. As Simpkins will have to drop back once again. He's going to throw this thing over the middle. It's nearly intercepted again by Thomas. But this time cannot make the catch. As now 3rd and 1. Wallace have to try to pick up the first down and will do so at the very least. Making a man miss in the process in order to move the chains. As now we have 1st and goal coming up here. Simpkins dropping back, throwing over to the right-hand side, but it is incomplete, however. As now we got 2nd and goal again. Simpkins dropping back, going to throw this thing over the middle. Actually, no, he's actually going to decide to scramble and nearly get in the process. As the Chargers are only 1 yard away from being able to punch it in. Simpkins going to hand it off to Market, who tries to dive into the end zone. And they're going to say he's in. Touchdown, Chargers. And this thing should be all tied up, but wait a minute here, folks. They are actually having the audacity to go for 2 here as Wallace tries to get in there, but it's no good. So Oxford opted to try to go for the lead, but it does not work out for them whatsoever, as it's still a lead for Delaware Kent, but it could get bigger though, as there's another fumble that Delaware Kent falls on. As we now go into the 4th quarter of play, still a very tight ball game. Each team responding the last couple of drives to a field goal as Butler gets loose down the center of the field. No one's going to be catch him. He is gone. Touchdown, Oxford, and the Chargers go ahead and retake the lead here. And also doing the smart thing as well as going for the extra point on top of that. So now a 6-point game, but that being said, it could be a changing of the lead as we got something going here. Delaware Kent in the end zone again. Touchdown, Colonials. But they're going to try and go for 2 here. I don't know if they're going to get there. Letney dives into the end zone. That is good. So a bold decision by the Colonial coaching staff. It does work out for them though. 28-26 here in the Gaming Tailgate Bowl. As now we'll see how the Chargers can respond. Less than 7 minutes left here in this ball game. Simpkins dropping back, gonna throw his thing over the middle. Actually finds a man downfield. He has Holt, and no one's gonna catch him. He's gone like a girl in a country song. Touchdown, Chargers. And it didn't take even a handful of seconds. The Chargers retake the lead themselves. And so 33-28 here, as the Colonials attempting to retake the lead here, but we might have something crazy happening as we got a fumble on the play. It's recovered by the Chargers, and that does end up meaning that, you know, I'm actually surprised Chargers didn't get any points off of that. It's a darn shame, matter of fact, but that being said, they have another chance which they fumbled again, but they also, you know, they only get a field goal, so the door's not completely shut. Colonials still in this game, so somehow they have a fair chance to at least tie this football game. We'll see if the 3rd time is the charm for the Colonials, as that pass is indeed incomplete though. As now 3rd and 10, Milano dropping back the pass, thrown to the left-hand side, gets it to Pearson, but it's way short of first down marker. Colonials have to go for it at this juncture of the game. Is now 4th and 5. Milano dropping back, throwing to the right-hand side, and gonna make the catch. Brunsey is cutting upfield and picking up the first down. This game is certainly not over yet, but not a lot of time left. Less than 30 seconds now. Milano dropping back, gonna have to scramble. Is gonna be sacked. I don't know if they're gonna be able to get to the line of scrimmage again, and that would be the last play of the game. The Chargers of Oxford University, representing for the Stars and Stripes Conference, wins this bowl game by a final score of 36-28. As now we'll go ahead, after a very competitive bowl game in the Gaming Tailgate Bowl, we now go to another Stars and Stripes Conference team who is set to play against Big North Conference opponent Indiana Ford, home of the Whitetails. What should be a very intriguing matchup, as Spring Creek is representing as the conference champion for the Stars and Stripes Conference. As now we'll go ahead and cut into this game now. Both teams, kind of going back and forth. Nobody really taking the lead here early on, as we are more than halfway through this first quarter of play, and nobody has really no one has even scored yet. But that could change here pretty soon, though, as we now have somebody in a first and goal situation for the very first time today. As Dawab will drop back the pass. He's looking over to the left-hand side. It is incomplete, though. So Spring Creek will go ahead and try again here. Dawab dropping back the pass. He's looking around. Going to go to the left-hand side. It's a touchdown for the Moose. End zone, good. And Spring Creek will indeed strike first here. And they will take an early 7-0 lead on the Whitetails, as they'll now be set to kick things off. We'll see how the Whitetails can respond here, as we have a man down on the edge. He's got some space, one man to beat. 54 can't make the tackle either. 85 can't reach him, and he's also gone. So the Whitetails do not take long whatsoever in order to respond. Touchdown, Whitetails. And just in a blink of an eye, it's now a 7-all game here. As now we'll see how Spring Creek can come back from this as we get into the final portions of the first quarter. Luckett makes a nice big catch upfield and get across to the 40-yard line. Nice pass over the middle. It's now following the longer pass play. We got him 1st and 10 again. Dawab goes to send this thing down the sideline. He has a man and finds Muffet down the right sideline. Touchdown, Spring Creek. And Spring Creek, the Moose, take a 14-7 lead. And one of the things to watch out for is this Stars and Stripes Conference, man. They have been doing their thing this bowl season. They already won their first 2 games. Darn, Oxford obviously won already from the Stars and Stripes Conference. Spring Creek is the last Stars and Stripes Conference team, so if they can somehow win this game, that would mean they're 3-0 in bowl season, which would be great for this Group of 5 conference. But the Whitetails, they aren't going to give up so easily, as they end up scoring another touchdown here. This thing all of a sudden is now tied up, as the Whitetails starting to find their groove a little bit. Usually a run-heavy offense, but the passing attack is finding a little bit of a groove, as well as Koyash is down the sideline. They committed to the run too much, though, and they are going to pay for it dearly, though, as there's nobody on that Spring Creek defense that can keep up with Koyash. And they made the defense pay for it. Another touchdown off the play action for the Whitetails, as it's now a multi-possession game. Spring Creek couldn't get much going on their next drive, so Whitetails with an opportunity here to really extend this lead going into the locker room here. Is now 2nd and 1. Hunter gonna go up the field and get it up to Phillips, who is gonna be able to pick up the first down on the play. As now again we got 1st and 10 coming up. Hunter dropping back the pass, throwing it over the middle. That's Ferguson, who somehow breaks the tackle. He's also gone, like a girl in a country song. That's a touchdown for the Whitetails. So not even at halftime yet, they've already dropped 34. And that's what the score ends up being, 34-17. Spring Creek offense isn't even doing that bad necessarily, but the defense has to really come with some answers here, as we have them at 2nd and 17. They got incompletion at the very least. It's just a matter of, can you get these guys off the field here? 3rd and long. You should be able to do that, but Koyash gets loose again. Spring Creek cannot do a good job of containment, and that leads to another touchdown for these Whitetails. And so now it's 41-17. Spring Creek in a very tough position right now. You don't want to abandon the run game completely, but that being said, it's hard to keep it going, to have these long methodical drives when you're down by so much. I'm actually surprised that they're still using the run to a degree, as Spring Creek is actually in a position where they could be legitimately ran off the field, it seems like, as they are having a really difficult time dealing with the speed of the Whitetails, perimeter receivers, as there is a fresh first down for the Moose. They're able to keep the drive alive for right now, as they are in Whitetail territory. 1st and 10 Dwab dropping back the pass, has a very clean pocket to work with. Makes a man miss, though, and will slide down at about the 30-yard line, though. So nice run by the quarterback, recognizing nobody was open downfield and making something happen himself, but he can do it with the arm as well. Is that somehow incomplete? It's now 2nd and 10. Dwab going upfield, has some space to work with, and is going to end up sliding down once again for the first down. It's now 2nd and 10 again. Dwab dropping back. He's got some time to work with. Going to go down the middle of the field and somehow gets to the Terry. What a play by the receiver right there. You love to see it. But then they're also going to go for 2 points, and I can kind of understand why, given how effective this offense is. But that being said, 2-point conversion simply no good. So still remains a free possession game, and still you got to rely on your defense to get yourself some stops right here. I don't know if they'll be able to do it, given how this game has gone so far here today. It's now a 41-23 game here. Hunter dropping back once again, going to go to the right-hand side. Finds Kodiash once more. This is going to be his 3rd touchdown of this game. Unbelievable. All doing it yards after the catch as well, as it just makes it more difficult for the Spring Creek Moose trying to come back when you can't even see. It doesn't seem like they can get a stop on offense here, as now we're closing in on the 4th quarter, as Spring Creek's offense, it actually has not played so bad, so far today. 23 points. It's not bad by any stretch of the measure, but again, just defense just seems completely overwhelmed so far. As there's a 3rd and short coming up, they're going to choose to run it for the first down. And while it's not clock friendly, it is their bread and butter, and they are able to pick up the first down. As now a couple plays later, 2nd and 13, Dwab throwing it over to the right-hand side, gets it to LeBlanc, and it's good for the first down. As now 1st and 10 again, Dwab dropping back, going to throw over the middle and finds Justice, who has the ball knocked away from him. Incomplete pass. As now Payne going to take it up the middle of the field. Going to be lit up like a Christmas tree a little bit. Has the legs taken out, but it doesn't look like he's shaken up whatsoever. As now 3rd and 5, Dwab throwing over the left-hand side, gets it to Muffet, as Muffet is able to indeed pick up the first down once again. As now again 1st and 10 coming up here. Dwab dropping back the pass. He's looking over in the middle, gets it to Muffet, who's able to get into the end zone, fights forward. Touchdown, Spring Creek. Let's freaking go. And if they go for a 2-point conversion, which I assume they will, it makes it a 17-point game, which, it's not impossible to come back from. I've seen bigger leads being blown in real life, as conversion is indeed good. And after another field goal by Spring Creek on another drive, it's only a 14-point game. So, if they can get a stop here somehow, things can go, either way still. Like, this thing is still far from over. Although it'll be a matter of if they can contain this offense, as Hunter's able to scramble to the outside. And even this quarterback, man, not the most mobile guy by any stretch of the measure, but just out here putting in some work. As Kodiash, is he going to get a 4th touchdown? He's going to do it. He's going to get 4 touchdowns in one game. Oh my goodness gracious. Spring Creek just does not have an answer. You want to talk about a Walmart brand version of Devontae Smith, it's this kid right here doing it in one of the bigger bowl games that the ACSA does have the offer so far this season, as it makes it once again a 3+ possession game. Now 58-34. They are very close to putting a 60 bomb on these guys, and now it's to a point where Spring Creek, they're not going to win this game unless there is an absolute miracle by God, but at least you can put some points on the board, and if you're an offense, you have something to good about going into season 2 of this dynasty. As we have 2nd and 3 now, Dwab dropping back again, cutting it over to the right-hand side, but it is incomplete though. As now we got 3rd and 3 again. Dwab dropping back to pass some more. Gonna throw this thing over the middle this time and finds Woodbay, who is able to pick up the first down as well, as it keeps the drive moving for Spring Creek, as they're now in 1st and goal. Dawab gonna throw his thing to the corner. The end zone, finds Luckett and is able to get the 10 toes down. Touchdown Spring Creek. And they might not win, but they certainly aren't gonna give up. They're gonna fight to the very end, and they're even gonna go for 2 points. Payne gonna go ahead and run for it and get the 2-point conversion. So nice finish for Spring Creek, but the defense is a big traitor here. The Whitetail offense waking up and choosing violence. Win this game 58-42 and winning the Accelerator Bowl here in the ACSA. So after that offensive slaughter that we saw in the Accelerator Bowl game, we'll now move on over to the PX1 Sports Bowl, sponsored by PX1 Sports over on Twitch. And in this game, we'll have the Alfred Tech Bulls, who actually won the National Athletic Conference Championship, and go up against the Hawaffa Chiefs, who are a pretty solid team and representing for the Big North Conference. So it should be a pretty good matchup here either way, man, as Alfred Tech, their last game, was that National Athletic Conference Championship game, and they won that game in overtime, by the way. That's how they managed to win that conference championship game, using overtime to do it. And so they're going to prove that they can finish the season on a high note as well here, as we already got a 1st down on the play. 3rd and 4 now. Clark going to go ahead and take this thing right up the middle, but fumbles the football back over to the Chiefs. And the Chiefs were able to use that in order to get themselves a field goal. Couldn't move the ball downfield very well, but still was able to put up points. Did what they needed to do for the most part. But the Hawaffa Chiefs, they now hold on to a 3-0 lead here early on, as we're getting towards the end of the 1st quarter already. Holt going to go ahead and take a swing right up the middle of the field, and that's going to be good for a 1st down as well. It's now 1st and 10. Holt going to drop back a pass. He's looking around, going to throw his swing down the middle, and it's intercepted. Alfred Tech gets the turnover that they needed right there. And so here we go, 1st and 10. Alfred Tech taking over. We'll see what they can do with it, finding themselves down 3-0 here in this ball game, as they got a 1st down in their first play. We'll see if they can keep that up, as Quarles will throw to the left-hand side. Gets it to Henry again, who gets him in the red zone as well. We'll see whose passing game can be more effective here, as snow is coming down. Weather is always known to be an equalizer here, as they try to throw towards the end zone. It's incomplete. Receiver tried to make his play for a quarterback, but could not get it done, as they go back to the drawing board. 2nd and 10. Correll's forced out of the pocket. Actually takes quite a shot, but is going to get himself back up here eventually. So now 3rd and short coming up here. We'll see how Alfred Tech approaches this one, as they actually choose to pass it. Gets it to Wells, who takes a shot, but gets into the end zone before he's brought down. Touchdown, Alfred Tech, of the National Athletic Conference champions, now holding on to a 7-3 lead here. And they will also have the ball here once again. They have the lead, and they have the ball. You always love to see that if you're a football coach. They're going to need to put up some points here pretty soon, because Hawaffa, at times, their offense can be pretty darn explosive too. So you can never count those guys out. It's now 2nd and 6 coming up a few plays later now. Quarles will drop back to pass once again. He's looking around, has a very clean body. Could probably made himself a sandwich if he wanted to. But then he hurts himself when he tries to slide down. So I don't know how long he'll be out necessarily, but backup quarterback will now be in, and they're just going to play it safe with him, it seems like. Go ahead and just run a couple of run plays here now, as actually they're passing it, so proven wrong immediately, as Moore's going to go ahead and take it upfield himself and get a nice 1st down. Looks like he went down pretty awkwardly himself, but it looks like there won't be a need for that 3rd string quarterback though. Is now 1st and 10. Going to try to throw it over to the left-hand side. That's incomplete though. Moore's actually putting a pretty good pass there, but probably receiver wasn't paying attention. That's my only explanation, because nobody was around him. So that seems like a pretty easy catch to make, but instead got to deal with 3rd down. What you going to do? Correll's dropping back. He's looking around. Going to go ahead and scramble upfield and slide down safely this time around. Does not hurt himself in the process. As a few plays later now, 3rd and 10. Drive could stall out. Correll's going to try to fight for the 1st down, as he gets lit up like a Christmas tree once again, and it wasn't even worth it. A holding penalty the penalty had to be declined because you got the 4th down anyways, and Alfred Tech still got a field goal. So this thing is now 10-3 now in favor of the Bulls of Alfred Tech, as they'll look to continue to build on this lead. Strong start for the Bulls, though, I will say so myself. As now 1st and 10 coming up. Correll's drawing back the pass, throwing to the right-hand side, gets it to Grieve, and Grieve is going to be able to pick up a 1st down on the play. So you love to see that. As now 1st and 10 again. Correll going to go to Clark over on the right-hand side and gets it up to midfield. Nice little 7-yard gainer on that play. As we got a 2nd and 3 coming up. Correll going to get it off to Clark once more. 1st down, but fumbles the football though, and that gives it back to the Chiefs. And here comes Hawafa with an opportunity right here to tie this football game up. As now we got 3rd and 7 now. Holt dropping back, throwing to the left-hand side. Munson gets hit and is going to be brought down once again. We got another 1st and 10 coming up here. Holt dropping back to pass. He's looking around, going to throw it over the left-hand side, but it is incomplete. As now 2nd and 10 again. Holt, after the incompletion, finds Parrish this time and does actually make the catch this time around too on top of that. So that leads to another 1st down for Hawafa, as they're only a handful of yards away from tying this thing up. They could have gotten it there. He had the space to work with on the outside, but just led a little too much. And now instead of 2nd and 10, Parrish does make the catch though, so it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Another touchdown for Hawafa. And now this thing is tied up nice and even, 10 apiece now. And we only have a minute left here in this 1st half. We'll see how Alfred Tech decides to approach this, as Alfred Tech, even though they are a conference champion, they are coming in as the underdogs, as he tries to flip over a guy, but it backfires horribly. So if anything that could have gone wrong, it did go wrong there, as Holt will throw it over the middle, get to Munson a few plays later, and a turnover turns into a touchdown for the Chiefs. And that's how we go into the locker room, a 17-10 ball game in favor of the Hawafa Chiefs from the Big North Conference. As we'll now cut to the 2nd half, Hawafa will actually start with the ball to begin the 2nd half of play here in the PX1 Sports Bowl, as they throw over the middle, finds Mudson deep downfield. A huge play that results in a nice 1st down. Hawafa on a drive once again, and we're going to make this a 2-possession game, as Holt looking around, going to throw over the middle, gets it to McKenzie, who's lit up like a Christmas tree, but is still able to hold on and make the catch. Another 20-yard gain that results in a 1st down. As now a fresh set of downs for the Chiefs as they try to throw once again. This time not as successful, as it led to an incompletion, as Hawafa will have to try again. 2nd and 10, have to throw quickly. Hit as he's thrown. Pressure leading to that incompletion as well. As now 3rd and 10, Holt looking around, gotta make some moves upfield, and doesn't fumble the ball, but also does not get the 1st down. Hawafa does get another field goal though, as it does become a 2-possession game once again. Hawafa now holding on to a 20-10 lead. We'll see if Alfred Tech can re-seize momentum, as they certainly lost it here in this 1st half of play. That could help them out, as Hawafa actually jumps off sides, making this a much more easy 3rd down, and they needed all of those penalty yards because they barely got to that 1st down marker, even with the penalty. So now 1st and 10, Clark going to get another carry up the right-hand side, and a little bit more progress there. A 6-yard gain on the play, made it 2nd and short for the Bulls of Alfred Tech. Is now, wait a minute, we have another penalty. It's on the Hawafa defense, it looks like, once again. So another easy 1st down for the Bulls to pick up. That's the 2nd time on this drive alone that penalties has helped this team garner a 1st down. As Alfred Tech on the move once again. 2nd and 3 now. Clark going to take the ball up the middle of the field. Some tough running. The Hawafa defense not allowing much running room, but there was still enough to pick up that 1st down though. Is now 1st and 10. Cage up the middle of the field. Quick seam route, as Correll's got rid of that pass very quickly. Is now 1st and 10 again. Correll's Going to that left-hand side. Got Hunt downfield. He got some space to work with. No one's going to be able to catch him. And he is officially gone. Touchdown, Alfred Tech. And an extra point will make this a 3-point game. But look at this. They're actually going to go for 2 here. Very bold statement, but it works out for the Bulls as they do get that 2-point conversion. And so it now becomes just a 2-point game here. Either team has the opportunity to win this PX1 Sports goal late in the ball game as we're now in the 4th quarter of play. As now Alfred Tech on the move again. This time to try and take the lead. Right back, Corrales throw it over to the left-hand side. Dangerous throw over to Clark, but it works out for him. And is able to get some yards after the catch as well. That is good for the first down on that play. As now, 2nd and 9. Corrales dropping back, throwing over the middle. Had himself a man. But too much mustard on that one. As they'll try again now. 3rd and 9. Corrales throwing over the middle. Finds Evans for the first down. But there's a penalty on the field as well. It's actually on Hawafa, a pass interference call. So penalty wouldn't even have mattered. They still got the first down regardless of that. You know, just got to be a matter of what do they do with it. A touchdown would be a lot more helpful, but they can still get this field goal here to take the lead as the kick is up. And it is indeed good. Alfred Tech taking the 21-20 lead. And that is the ultimate difference maker. Alfred Tech winning the PX1 Sports goal, winning by a final score of 21-20 against Hawafa. So now we go ahead and get into the final bowl game of today's episode. We do have the Ryan Moody Bowl that is sponsored by the Ryan Moody YouTube channel. As today's matchup, this final bowl game matchup has California Calabasas, which does represent for the Big Pacific Conference, versus the Mississippi A&M Vipers, who are from the Super South Conference. California Calabasas, we didn't really get a chance to see them over the course of Season 1. But, we'll go ahead and see what they're made of as they're off to a strong start. An interception on Mississippi A&M's very first drive that was turned around and turned into a field goal here. As we'll see if James Boring and company can get things back on track after the turnover. As Boring will try to hand it off, but miscommunication, another turnover for the Vipers. Making it too easy, but California Calabasas, thankfully, having a hard time with their offense as well. Only difference is they're not turning the ball over. As wow, we have a 3rd turnover. Mississippi A&M had 3 turnovers, 2 interceptions, and a fumble in the first quarter alone. And all California Calabasas has to show for it so far is 6 points. 6 points is the only thing separating these two teams, despite the fact that Mississippi A&M has 3 turnovers as we have a fumble for the Warriors. And that turns into a field goal as well. So a very sloppy game here early on as both teams have the turnover bug. As we see another interception. There have been only 9 points scored. And we have 5 turnovers already in this football game. You hate to see it. I would go on a limb and say this has been the sloppiest bowl game that we have watched so far here in this ACSA bowl season. But we'll see if one of these teams finally settles down here a little bit as James Boring will drop back the pass. He's actually going to scramble out of the pocket and actually got some run space to work with as James Boring dives for the end zone. But they're actually going to mark him down at the 2-yard line. I think that's a rough spot, but we'll see if Mississippi A&M can handle the adversity as they try to throw the corner in the end zone. He had a man wide butt naked open, but it's incomplete though. So they'll have to try again now. 2nd and goal. Boring going to try to run it into the end zone himself and does end up getting it in there. Touchdown Vipers. As Mississippi A&M retakes the lead for the first time today. Now 10-6 and could be 17. Oh, I thought Capro was going to go loose there. Beautiful throw though by James Boring though. But sets up Mississippi A&M well though. We'll see if they can capitalize on the long pass play down the field. We have a 2nd and 5 coming up from the 25-yard line. 2nd and 5. Boring Dropping back to pass. He's looking around, has a man in his face. Somehow evades the pressure, though. He's down for the races, and he's brought down again at the 2-yard line. So 2 near touchdowns for James Boring on the 2 previous drives as we try to throw it over to 25 once again. Trying to get that thing going, but just having a hard time with those throws to the end zone as finally they connect. Williams in the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Vipers. Mississippi A&M extends their lead, now making it 17-6. And not only do they have a multi-possession lead, but they also get the ball to begin the second half as well. So you love to see that. It's now 2nd and 5. Boring. Gonna go to Williams, who's out on the outside, and some nice cuts upfield as well. That gets him to the 40-yard line. Is now 1st and 10 again. Boring. Gonna hand it off to the left-hand side. It's over to Dawkins, who fumbles the football, though. Men flying everywhere trying to get to it. A very scrappy game here. But can California Calabasas, can they finally get their offense going? We know the defense certainly came to play. But the offense, though, they have not really done anything of note here today, besides turn the football over a handful of times. Although that could change here as Taylor's downfield. Nice catch on the seam as well that gets the Warriors in the red zone. As now 1st and 10 following the long pass play up the seam. Gonna try to throw it towards the end zone. It's got a man. Touchdown, Warriors. And the Big Pacific Conference representative cuts it within 5 as they try to go for the 2-point conversion. That would have just made a 3-point game. But that's no good, unfortunately. So, still a 5-point game in California Calabasas. UCC still needs to get one more touchdown if they want to take the lead. As now 2nd and 10. Boring. Going to drop back the pass throw over the middle. Had an easy crossing route over the middle, but could not connect, unfortunately. So they will have to try again there. 3rd and 10 coming up. Boring going to throw over the middle. Gets it to Crouch. Off of the deflection, and then is pushed forward by the defender and picking up the 1st down. So you want to talk about a rough chain of events. That's one right there, as defense did a really good job, but you know, sometimes it is just a little bit better to be lucky than it is to be good, and we certainly saw that right there as Mississippi A&M is actually able to continue with their drive because of that play alone. It could lead to another touchdown right here as Boring will hand it off to Williams and breaks off 2 guys and finds his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Vipers. And Mississippi A&M really starting to pull away here. 27-12 right now. And it looks like Mississippi A&M just a handful of minutes away from winning the Ryan Moody Bowl here on Maximum Football 2020. Although 13 of California Calabasas has something to say, breaking multiple tackles, and he's gone like a girl in a country song. Touchdown, Warriors. And it is not over yet, ladies and gentlemen, as this 2-point conversion makes it a 1-score game all of a sudden, as Pierce will try to drop back the pass. Going to throw it towards the back of the end zone, but it's incomplete, unfortunately. So it makes it a 2-possession game once more, as Mississippi A&M has an opportunity still to go ahead and put this game away once and for all. California Calabasas, the Warriors, they need a stop here. They still have free timeouts though, but you got to make something happen here as James Boren all by himself gets out of bounds, which is a little curious because you want to keep the clock running. That might actually stop the clock temporarily, as UCC is now using some of their timeouts. Down to 2 though, as they go downfield, they have a man to Williams, who's tripped up at the 2-yard line. Oh no! Huge play for the Vipers, as the Warriors have to take another timeout. Only 1 remaining, although James Boring finds Williams in the back of the end zone once more. Touchdown, Mississippi A&M, and they will go on and win the Ryan Moody Bowl by a final score of 34-18 against UCC.
So Mississippi A&M is actually going to go ahead and win the Ryan Moody Bowl against the University of California Calabasas. And this also marks the halfway point for the bowl games that aren't associated with the college football playoff. we're going to go ahead and pick things up back on Monday. And Monday is going to be the start of the bowl games that feature top 25 teams from here on out. It's going to be a good one for Monday, man, for sure. First off, we do have the Trident Mega Bowl. That will be the first game being played, where Southern Alabama State will be playing against Chattanooga Tech, who is currently ranked number 25 in the nation. After that, we'll have the Rod Peterson Bowl, where Coastal Alabama will go ahead and play against Detroit State. Both teams are ranked in the top 25, Coastal Alabama 24 and Detroit at 23. This will be the second game being played on Monday. On top of that, the PlaybookSocial.com Bowl will take place between the number 22 ranked David Crockett Mavericks and the number 21st ranked Virginia Christian Saints, who are representing the Sunshine Conference. Finally, to end Monday's bowl games, we'll actually have Little Rock have a rematch against Central Georgia A&M for the Stilo Brand Bowl. This will be the final game that will be happening on Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's ACSA action, and if you did, please do me a favor and please smash that like button, as well as hit subscribe if you happen to be brand new to the channel. This is John J. Gaming on the mic. Hoping you guys are all out here having a wonderful day. Take care, everybody.